Have you ever felt that no matter how much you visualize, wish, or meditate, your life remains trapped in the same cycles, as if something invisible were blocking the path between your inner vision and the reality you long for? The truth can be unsettling. The universe does not respond to your requests. It responds to your frequency, not to what you want, but to what you vibrate, to what you feel in silence, in your daily decisions, in the way you exist. In this video, you will discover the quantum frequency capable of opening the doors to the reality you've always dreamed of, and how to access it now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Because when you are, the universe reflects. Leave this phrase in the comments. I already am what I desire. That will be your vibrational signal, the first step to manifest with authenticity. Now take a deep breath, because your new reality begins here. Jacobo Grinberg was one of the greatest explorers of consciousness of the 20th century. A Mexican scientist, psychologist, and neurophysiologist, he went beyond the boundaries of traditional science to investigate what few dared to question: how the mind actually creates the reality we live in. While many studied the brain as a simple biological organ, Grinberg immersed himself in shamanic traditions, neuronal fields, and the vibrational structure of the universe. His theory of the neural field suggests that everything we experience is a projection generated by our perception. In other words, reality is not fixed, it is shaped by our frequency. This vision resonates with the most advanced principles of quantum physics and with discoveries of modern neuroscience, such as brain-heart coherence, studied by institutes like HeartMath. It also connects with Neville Goddard's concept of living from the end, and Joe Dispenza's descriptions of neural reprogramming states. In this video, we will combine these insights to reveal the true secret behind manifestation. It's not about wishing for something outside of you, but about aligning your identity with what you already are at the vibrational level. And when this coherence happens, reality inevitably changes. For years, we were taught that visualizing what we want is the most direct path to manifesting a new reality. We close our eyes, create vivid mental scenes, feel the emotions, imagine our future self, living the dream life. And still, reality remains unchanged. Perhaps a small shift happens, maybe a sign appears, but soon we find ourselves back at the same point, the same pattern, the same struggle. And then doubt arises. If what I visualize is so vivid, why doesn't it become real? The answer lies in a subtle but profound mistake. Visualizing by itself does not create. The mental image is only part of the process. What truly shapes reality is the frequency you emit consistently. It's the vibration your body carries, even after you open your eyes. No matter how clear your vision is during meditation, if for the rest of the day your energy vibrates in anxiety, doubt, or scarcity, that is the vibration the quantum field picks up and mirrors back. Visualization is a tool, not an end. It serves to guide your system, activate emotions, generate intention, but if your real vibration is misaligned with what you imagine, manifestation becomes impossible. This is because the quantum field doesn't respond to your desires, it responds to your vibrational coherence. Not to what you consciously think, but to what you are at the deepest level. Here is the essential point. There is a huge difference between imagining something and vibrating as if it were already real. When you only dream of a new reality, but continue operating with old behaviors, feelings, and thoughts, your energetic signal contradicts itself. And in the quantum universe, everything is frequency. Contradiction means confusion, and confusion creates stagnation. That is why so many people feel that manifestation works for some but not for everyone, because most are trying to create something new with an old identity. They try to imagine a prosperous life, but still identify with scarcity. They visualize true love, but feel unworthy. They project success, but act out of fear. This dissonance is not just emotional, it is vibrational, and that's why it completely blocks the creative flow of the universe. Jacobo Grinberg already stated, reality is not something imposed from the outside in, but a projection of the inner perceptual field. In other words, you don't live what you want, you live what you emit energetically. If your vibrational base doesn't change, no mental technique will ever be enough. Visualization must be used as a portal, a bridge between your desire and your new identity, not as an escape from the now, but as training for your vibration. The secret is crossing that bridge and staying on the other side. Visualize, yes, but above all, vibrate. Everything in the universe vibrates. A statement once considered mystical is now supported by science. Quantum physics shows us that matter, at its most fundamental level, is energy in motion, a dance of particles responding to vibrational fields. That includes you. Your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are constantly emitting electromagnetic signals. And it is that emission, that vibrational code, that determines what the quantum field returns to you. The great trap is believing we can hide from life what we are really feeling. That if we say the right words or visualize enough, the universe will be tricked. But the quantum field doesn't respond to words. It responds to the energy you are when no one is watching. The frequency you carry as you breathe, walk, react, and choose. Think of it like a radio transmitter. You can wish to hear a specific station, but if the device is tuned to another frequency, all you'll get is static. Life works the same way. You may wish for love, but vibrate insecurity. You may want abundance, but vibrate fear. And the universe, as a completely neutral mirror, can only reflect what you are transmitting. Through his studies of the neural field and the interaction between consciousness and reality, Jacobo Grinberg reached a powerful conclusion. Reality is a perceptual construction shaped by the inner vibration of the observer. In other words, you are not interacting with a fixed world. You are navigating fields of possibility that adjust to your dominant frequency. This is where many people fail. They try to have a new reality without first being a new vibration. And that creates frustration, because manifestation is not about chasing something external, but about realizing that the external is always a response to your internal state. What you live is an energetic confirmation of what you emanate. That is why the real first step to change your life is not to set a new goal, but to align yourself with the version of you who already lives that reality. To feel as that person feels, to choose as that person chooses, to act as that person acts. Not as a performance, but as a new vibrational truth, and this doesn't happen from the outside in. Change begins in the invisible field. When you shift your frequency, the universe responds, not through magic, but through energetic coherence. Physical reality is the final stage of a process that begins in the unseen. The question is no longer, what do I want, but what am I vibrating now? Frequency doesn't lie. It reveals precisely where you are and what you are attracting. And by understanding this, you stop being a beggar of reality and become its co-creator. Most people live within an unconscious program that says, when I have this, then I will be that. When I have money, I'll be happy. When I find true love, I'll be whole. When I achieve success, I'll be confident. But this logic is not only ineffective, it is completely reversed. In the quantum field, the correct order is, first you are, then you have. This is the foundation of quantum identity. And understanding it radically transforms your way of existing, because in the vibrational universe, what attracts is not desire, but identity. The quantum field does not react to your dreams or requests, it reflects who you have already assumed yourself to be. It doesn't matter if you say you want abundance, if deep down you still see yourself as someone struggling. The universe responds to your self-definition, not to your conscious intentions. Jacobo Grinberg said that reality is a perceptual hologram created from the structure of the mind. This means everything you experience is shaped by your inner identity. Your life is not just responding to what you believe, it is projecting who you believe you are. And here's the point most people ignore. Your identity is not fixed. It is a moldable frequency. You don't need to wait for external results to feel worthy. You can, and must, embody right now the version of yourself who already lives the reality you desire. This is not pretending. It is vibrational training. Of course, in the beginning, this will feel strange. The body will resist. The mind will try to sabotage. After all, for years you've been conditioned to believe you must achieve something to become someone. But now you are being called to reverse that pattern, to be before you have, to feel before you see, to embody before you receive. When you consciously choose a new identity, even if there is no evidence yet in the physical world, you are sending a new signal to the quantum field. And the field, without judgment or delay, begins to reorganize the elements of reality to reflect this new version. That is true co-creation. To assume a quantum identity does not mean delusion. It means living with intention, alignment, and courage. It means saying, I no longer wait for external permission to feel prosperous, loved, or fulfilled. I choose to vibrate that now. And when that decision becomes consistent, the universe adjusts. The external bows to the internal. Life begins to respond with synchronicity, flow, and opportunities that once seemed unreachable. To be before you have is more than a spiritual philosophy. It is vibrational technology. It is the secret code of manifestation. Because in the end, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Most people live in a state of inner conflict without realizing it. They think about abundance but feel fear. They want to prosper but act with hesitation. They talk about trust but make decisions based on doubt. This lack of alignment is not just emotional, it is vibrational. And as long as that misalignment exists, reality will continue reflecting that fragmented state. This is where the concept of coherence comes in. The energetic harmony between what you think, feel, and do. When these three levels are in sync, your frequency becomes clear, powerful, and irresistible to the quantum field. Coherence is not a vague concept. It is applied vibrational technology. The HeartMath Institute has proven this scientifically by studying the synergy between the heart and the brain. When your emotions are elevated, like gratitude, love, or trust, and your thoughts are focused on possibilities, your body enters a state of cardiac and brain coherence. In that state, you don't just feel better, you become magnetic. Your electromagnetic field expands, and the universe responds with synchronicity. Jacobo Grinberg also spoke of the need to align the perceptual structure with the desired experience. If your mind projects one thing, but your emotion contradicts it, the field responds to the stronger signal, and usually that signal comes from emotion. That is why positive thinking alone is not enough. If your body is addicted to states of stress, anxiety, or scarcity, those emotions become the dominant code. And that is the code the quantum field will read. Thinking of abundance while feeling fear is like pressing the gas while the handbrake is on. Coherence, therefore, requires conscious practice. You need to learn to breathe more deeply, to cultivate elevated emotional states, to care for your inner environment with the same dedication you give to planning external goals. An isolated thought has little power if it is not charged with emotion and supported by action. This triad, thought, emotion, and action, is what forms your vibrational signature. When you think with clarity, feel with truth, and act with integrity, you emit a pure signal. And the quantum field, when it picks up that signal, begins to organize reality in your favor. At that point, manifestation ceases to be an effort and becomes a consequence. You are no longer trying to make it work. You are simply in resonance with what you want to live. And the most powerful part, coherence is trainable. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. By developing this state, you don't just attract a new reality, you become it. Because coherence is not only a path to manifestation, it is a new way of existing. Fake it till you make it? No. In the quantum field, faking is noise. What works is not performance, it is vibrational embodiment. The concept of embodying as if, acting as if you already were, is not about theater, but about recalibrating your energetic identity. You are not trying to fool the universe. You are conditioning your nervous system to recognize a new truth as natural. The difference between faking and embodying lies in intention and vibration. Faking is superficial. It thinks, I am not yet, but maybe if I act like it, the universe will believe me. Embodying, on the other hand, is a state of silent conviction. I am. Even if the external world does not show it, my field already knows. This is the moment where many give up. Because embodying a new identity before seeing results is uncomfortable. It's like wearing new clothes that haven't yet adjusted to your body. Strange, awkward, but this is just the old you trying to protect its vibrational domain. Discomfort is not a mistake. It's a sign of transition. Imagine someone who wants prosperity but still feels guilty investing in themselves, or someone who wants love but fears vulnerability. These contradictions show that the new identity is not yet rooted, and the quantum field, sensitive to every nuance, reflects precisely that imbalance. So how do you act as if without falling into the trap of falseness? Start small. Instead of trying to transform your entire life at once, transform how you move within it. How do you show up when you're alone? How do you speak to yourself in the mornings? What choices would you make if you were already your highest version? What if it were already real? That question should become your compass. If you were already living what you desire, how would you start your day? What clothes would you choose, even if no one were watching? How would you care for your body, your environment, your finances? These small decisions, made with intention, shape the frequency of your identity. The secret is persistence. You may not fully believe it at first, and that's okay. The body takes time to accept new commands. But with repetition and coherence, what once felt strange becomes familiar. And when familiarity settles in, vibration stabilizes. Joe Dispenza calls this installing the new personality. Neville Goddard called it living from the end. Grinberg saw it as reprogramming perception to shape the hologram of reality. All, in different words, pointed to the same principle. You don't manifest what you desire, you manifest what you are. So stop waiting for external permission. Start now by acting as someone who has already received. Not to convince the world, but to tune in with what has always been waiting for you. Because when the field recognizes that you have already become, it has no choice. It reflects it back. There are moments in the manifestation journey when something shifts, but not visibly. You haven't received more money, you haven't met the ideal partner, you haven't achieved the big dream. But inside, you know, there is a silent peace, a steady confidence, an absence of urgency. And then something curious begins to happen. Certain numbers start appearing. One in particular stands out, 777. Seeing 777 repeatedly is not a coincidence. In the quantum field, nothing is random. These numbers are like fingerprints of the field, subtle signs that something within you has aligned enough for the universe to begin responding. In vibrational language, 777 is a silent confirmation that you have become an energetic match to what you desire. While most people look for signs as future promises, something good is coming. The true meaning of 777 is different. It doesn't announce what's coming. It confirms what already is. It appears when your frequency has stabilized enough to allow reality to begin collapsing around you. In the field of infinite possibilities described by quantum physics, all realities already exist. What determines which version you experience is the frequency you consistently sustain. When 777 appears, it's as if the field were saying, "We're picking up your new signal. Reality is taking shape from it." But beware, this is a critical moment. Many see the sign and interpret it as a blank check. They relax, stop sustaining the vibration, return to anxiety and the old pattern. It's like planting a seed and upon seeing the first sprout, stopping the watering. The field was responding and the emission was lost. 777 is a call to deepen, not to retreat. It is the convergence point between intention and identity. The field is collapsing in response to your new self, but it still needs you to keep vibrating the coherence that initiated the process. Think of it as crossing a vibrational bridge. The number is the middle of the path. Arrival depends on your constancy. In mystical traditions, the number 7 is linked to wisdom, cycle completion, and integrated spirituality. When it appears tripled, it represents the alignment of mind, heart, and action, the same tripod of quantum coherence. You are no longer wishing, you are living as if you already were, and the universe is recognizing it. So if you've been seeing 777 in unexpected moments, know this: it is not the sign that something is coming, it is proof that something has already begun. And now it is your responsibility to sustain, deepen, and allow. Because you are not just asking the universe to manifest. You are finally becoming someone the field cannot help but respond to. Now that you understand, manifestation is not about wishing, but about vibrating, being, and sustaining. True transformation begins with your next choices. The universe is not waiting for you to make more effort, more promises, or more visualizations. It is waiting for one thing only: vibrational coherence. Your new reality is not far away. It already exists as frequency. The only thing separating you from it is the repetition of old patterns you can choose to let go of today. Apply what you learned here. Remember who you truly are. Practice the identity you want to experience, not as a performance, but as a commitment to your highest essence. And every time you wonder, is it working? Return to the most powerful question: who am I being right now? If this video touched you in any way, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who is also ready to activate their quantum frequency. Leave this in the comments: I vibrate the reality that is already mine. Because in the end, you are not manifesting something outside of yourself. You are simply remembering what has always been yours by vibrational right.